Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80, and she leaves behind a legacy of lyrics and a life as wild as her songs, and so much giving to so many people. And we bring Rowdy Yates into the conversation right now. It's interesting to hear all these different reflections. Rowdy's a country radio Hall of Fame personality and syndicated radio host. And I'm just curious about where, as with our other guests, you'd even begin with Dolly Parton. Like, what are you thinking about today, Rowdy?
Well, first off, I think I'm like everyone else, just absolutely gobsmacked and shocked that this happened. Of course, a lot of us knew that Dolly had been in poor health the last year or so, and I think she was really suffering from the fact that she had lost her husband, Carl Dean, not that long ago. But she was such an icon. She was such a legend. And, I mean, we were just all of the belief that, someone like Dolly would never go away. And I'll also say it's been great to see these old radio friends of mine and hear these voices. I have known or have worked with everyone you've spoken with this afternoon, and it's kind of sad that we only get together and talk about things like this when things like this happen.
Isn't it sad in so many ways? And I guess the opposite, too, at the same time, but that's how all industries seem to be, because it does give us a chance to remember. You mentioned, and we haven't talked about it as much, her marriage, I think it was 58 years to Carl, right?
Oh, yeah. Very interesting story. Dolly Parton met her husband, Carl Dean. I don't think Dolly was 18. I think she was still 17. She had just graduated from high school, and Dolly literally left for Nashville the weekend she graduated high school, moved into an apartment, and there was Carl Dean, who also lived in the apartment complex. And so they met one another in the laundromat and started dating immediately, and wasn't too terribly long after that when they tied the knot, and they had a wonderful marriage. One of the funny things that stories that I like to tell is the fact that, believe it or not, Carl Dean said that all these years he probably never saw Dolly perform on stage more than about a dozen times. They just had very different lives, but he owned a very successful concrete and asphalting company there in Nashville to where he just paved roads. That's what Carl Dean did. And, while Carl said that he didn't see Dolly sing on stage that much, I can't imagine that Dolly sat around and watched Carl pave much either.
Yeah, probably not, right? I was just thinking that. Yeah, so maybe, turnaround was fair play in that regard. Was it one of those people, do you know, whether, some family members, they just get nervous watching others perform, or was another a reason?
I think that he probably just fell in love with the truest, bluest, and most innocent version of this little country girl from the hills of Tennessee, and that's the way he always wanted to remember her. Another thing that's kind of funny, Dolly obviously toured a lot. She traveled a lot. She was on the road a lot. She worked tirelessly, up until the very end. But one of the things that I thought was kind of amusing was when they did get time together, they actually traveled. You would think that most entertainers, touring entertainers, would want to jump off the road, wouldn't want to get anywhere near a bus. And I remember Dolly telling me one time that she and Carl, I think, owned a little smaller Winnebago, what they called the Mini Winnie. And they would go and travel to these little national parks and in Tennessee and in that region, just all through that Appalachian area of the nation. There's so many wonderful places to see, beautiful places to see. And they would just go and do a little camping all by themselves because they really did treasure one another's company. And can you imagine being just someone out on a long weekend with your family, and you're going to the communal shower or bathroom, or going to the little shop down the road to pick up a six-pack of beer, and you'd swear you saw Dolly Parton in there too, but it's like, no, it couldn't be Dolly.
Then no one would believe you, even if you tell your friend, yeah, sure you did, if you saw Dolly Parton.
There was something else that I wanted to throw in about the philanthropy, especially like Cody said a minute ago, or it might have been Smokey, about Dolly not forgetting where she came from. Years ago, there was a terrible wildfire in that region, and it burned a bunch of homes and literally just destroyed thousands of acres. And Dolly wanted to do something for her hometown and her home folks. And I remember that, and only Dolly could have done this, she managed to arrange a number of cable networks to simulcast a telethon. She picked up the phone. She has a mighty massive and impressive Rolodex. She called a number of her country fans. Obviously, she had the Hollywood connection, so she called a number of her A-list Hollywood friends. And her goal was to basically give every single person that applied for that aid a check for $1,000.
Right.
And they pulled that off. But
Wow.
she was the one that spearheaded that. And I guarantee you that she was the lead in all of that, because that's the type of a businesswoman that Dolly was. She wanted to be involved with it from the top to the bottom. I'm sure she has great people around her, but believe me, Dolly was the boss.
Yeah, it's when you combine the business acumen, which she clearly had, with
Are you kidding me?
the big heart.
And from an early age, I want you to think about that too. You know, there's a famous story that Elvis Presley wanted to record the Dolly Parton song, I Will Always Love You. But Colonel Tom Parker, who was managing Elvis, basically said, well, he'll do it, but you're going to have to sign away part of your publishing. And the businesswoman in Dolly Parton told Elvis and his manager that that was not going to happen. And so many other artists would have jumped at the opportunity to have the king of rock and roll record one of their songs. I'm sure Dolly would have made a fortune, but she felt that strongly about the song and about the business deal that was being presented to her. And she said, no, thank you. Although knowing Dolly the way I do, it was probably a few choicer words.
I want to go back for a moment. You're talking about all that she did with the wildfires to give to people, because we have a clip of Dolly and all she did, you know, around Hurricane Helene to help people as well. So let's listen to that for a moment.
Okay.
Helene, 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 you came in here and broke us all apart. Helene, 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 but we're all here to mend these broken hearts, and that's what I'm doing here, so.
Lifting people's spirits using one of her great songs, of course, playing off of it there, Rowdy, to do so.
Yeah. I'm going to miss her. I really, really am. I think a lot of other people are too. She had such an uncanny ability to identify with so many people, you know, the poor folks in the mountains and the glamorous people too. Plus, she was just such an unbelievably inviting person. And I think that's because she was so well grounded. She never forgot where she came from. And I think that's important, because
is there anything personal for you, Rowdy, that stands out? You know, I think you mentioned that, you know, before, you know, I want to give you a chance if you.
I'll say this, and you can say this about a handful of country music artists. First off, I will say we're a family, and I think this is why this is bittersweet. The country artists especially have always been so good to endear themselves to country radio. We don't just meet these artists, we know these artists. I mean, we have their numbers in our cell phones. We know how to get in touch with them on the road. But for me, Dolly was this way. Taylor Swift was this way. Garth Brooks was this way. They never forgot my name. And mind you, you don't know this. I'm a second-generation radio guy. I grew up in Dallas-Fort Worth. My father was a news director of WBAP Radio, which was one of the biggest, most powerful country radio stations in the day. And so I knew Dolly Parton when I was 12. And the personal connection that we had is my real name, believe it or not, is not Rowdy. It's Joshua. And of course, she had a song called Joshua in the early 70s. And so anytime I would see her over the years, and we're talking, you know, a woman that I've known for more than 40 years, even if she was coming from the back and I couldn't even see her, she would always start singing, Joshua, Joshua. Of course, at 6'5", I'm hard to miss, but that's what I will always remember about her, is just how sweet she was and how caring she was.
That's a great story. Thank you, Joshua.
Well, thank you.
Rowdy Yates. Let's move on here for a moment. It's almost 10 past the hour, to our friend Geraldo, who joins us always with his daily take on things. And today it's Dolly Parton.
Hey, Colonel.